So
Sure.
Ten Hills is going through a lot of changes right now. We recently renovated one of our rooms,
Right.
and we have a capsule collection coming out real soon.
Yeah.
So the designs are complete. We're just taking your feedback, and for sure it'll be launching anytime soon.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about these changes, and what's your immediate future vision for Ten Hills as a
Right.
brand
So,
and as a platform?
right. So, I'll start off with the brand. So, basically, um, it basically started with the whole 30-day design challenge, right? Where I was trying to churn out a design every single day.
That was crazy though.
Yeah. And that got a little tiring. And I was like, I don't know why I put myself in this situation where I have to come up with a design every day. And so what we did was that we obviously designed it and then we printed it in the same day as well. So we had so many extra products and not enough shelf space. So we had to renovate one room to create more rack space for our in-house products, right? So that was the start of it, right? And then the capsule collection, I just felt like what the 30-day design challenge kind of taught me was that it's easier to come up with something more cohesive than to come up with a new concept every day.
True.
So I think what we've done with the capsule collection is explore a deeper concept and kind of really go all in on the concept. And so we're doing half button up shirts, we're doing a dad hat, we're doing shorts, we're doing three graphic tees, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So it's a proper 6-7 product drop, which is going to be our first ever capsule collection.
So it's titled Mania, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it is title Mania. Yeah.
So what's like your first ever capsule collection? You name it Mania.
Okay.
What's the story behind that?
So there's a deeper reason. Our marketing guy, Paurav, he messaged me yesterday asking me the same thing. And so I had created this note essentially. And I can read it out. It would be really funny if I did.
I mean, we are here to connect.
All right. I mean, this is me being super vulnerable. So, I mean, it was easier for me to write it down than it is for me to talk about it. So I'll start off with what mania means. So, mania, by definition, is a mental illness which is marked by periods of great excitement or euphoria, delusions, and overactivity. So, basically, what that means is that you experience extreme ends, like extreme euphoria and extreme deep lows, right? So, that's what being manic means, or having a manic episode means. So, about 3 years back, this is where my journey with mental illness started. So, I was diagnosed with general anxiety disorder and panic disorder. And this is after not having any coping mechanisms for many years. So, growing up without really knowing that, right? So, kind of coping with different kinds of social anxiety and also anxiety in general was like something that we as a culture don't really discuss as much. And also, I just didn't know that I had something like that. It was a feeling and I didn't know how to explain it. I just thought that is how I am, basically. That is how I process things.
Right.
Like, I will have euphoric highs, and you've been around me to know that I can be super high, I can be super low, and then I can be super active, I can be super lazy, right?
Right.
So I don't necessarily have manic disorder, but I think panic disorder is somewhat similar in that sense. And it sounded like a better name than panic. Pania would not have been a thing. But yeah, so the kind of me as my first capsule collection or my first design collection, accepting those struggles and those ups and downs and kind of is basically like an effort to not only find stability but also to validate that that is something that I have been struggling with, and also kind of just put it out in the universe in a way that, like, I always felt like some people would consider me to be weaker if I accepted this about me, or that people would think something's wrong with me. But now, after having been on medication and help for the last 3 years, I'm in a much, much better state now. And I feel like a lot of these anxieties and stuff have slowly faded away, and I feel more comfortable than ever, more relaxed, more like just happier, more stable. So just as my first collection, I kind of wanted to just kind of validate something that was really personal to me, you know. So it's a very personal thing to me that I'm kind of tying into this collection. And I've always said, I don't know if I've said this to you, is that if I ever wanted to design something, it has to be an extension of myself. So, because I view clothing as a means of self expression, so when I'm designing stuff, I am kind of hoping that I can achieve the same thing. I know that there are many people in India and outside that struggle with mental illness, either diagnosed or undiagnosed. A lot of the times undiagnosed because not a lot of people are talking about it here, and it's not as accepted. Like, I think the first time one of my stomach doctors, because my stomach doctor was the one that realized that I might have more of like an anxiety thing than an actual stomach issue. And he put me on to this psychiatrist, and my dad's instant reaction was like, no, that's not a thing, you know, because in his mind he was like, okay, you're not crazy, but I know, like, there are levels to everything, and some people are functional, some people are non-functional, and to kind of paint a picture that everyone is in the same category with regards to mental illnesses and stuff is not the right way to think of it. I kind of view it as how, say, if your physical self, like say you have a cold or a cough or something like that, like your mind can also have a cold or a cough, right? Like
True.
you're still a physical part of you. It is still a physical part of you, and it's very easy to have that. Like, it's not crazy. So, I mean, when I was speaking to my psychiatrist, one thing that kept coming up was his way of explaining it is like super simple. And he was like, sometimes there's serotonin levels that drop in your brain, which causes you to have these kind of things. And what we'll do is that we'll just help you artificially to naturally and then slowly build, naturally increase your serotonin levels, to which it doesn't happen. So
Hmm.
it really is as simple as that. I think that people, it is complicated in certain aspects or certain mental illnesses, but say something like a general anxiety disorder like mine or a panic disorder, there are ways to kind of help stay course and kind of, yeah, seek help, bro. Like, I feel like that's one of the things that I now tell people for sure. Like, I will openly talk about it, even though I feel like at times people around me might feel uncomfortable about it, but I don't feel uncomfortable about it because I know that I'm not crazy, and I know that it's a very episodic type thing. Like, it's something that comes and goes, and it's not in my control, and it can be overwhelming when it does happen. But then there are ways to kind of, you know, get back and stuff like that. So
So
yeah,
that's how
mania.
much How much